待たせたな、天智。ありがとう、天智。
雄一。
よく俺を信じて待っててくれたな。
当たり前だろ。
一体何が起こってるのよ。
Last time on Tomodachi Game, the newest game was revealed, Hide and Seek. This time, however, the simple child's game has been elevated into a life and death situation. Tenji, Yuichi, and Maria are on a mission to find a safe hiding spot for Tenji. They recall the strict rules Manabu explained to them. First and foremost, no violence is allowed to locate the hider. In addition, moving the hider or changing hiding spots during the game is strictly prohibited. Any violation of these rules will result in an instant loss, along with a hefty doubling of each member's debt. But the group isn't without a few advantages. Manabu hands everyone a cell phone with the freedom to contact anyone they like, friend or foe. Yuichi mentions that he won't call Tenji unless it's an emergency, leaving Tenji feeling slightly isolated. And it doesn't help that they haven't eaten in 3 days, leaving Tenji feeling a bit dizzy. Thankfully, Manabu had mentioned food in the middle of the forest, which they can eat once the game starts, but only if they can bring it to the hider. In addition to food, Manabu gives the hiders a way out, a give up button, which only the hider can press. If they're feeling lonely or bored and don't want to continue, they can use it to end the game immediately, but at the cost of their team's loss. Yuichi's plan involves separating from Maria and leading Tenji to a small cave to hide. Tenji begins to wonder if they stand a chance at winning with the enemy team having more members. Yuichi admits that they probably won't win if they play clean, but if they're willing to bend the rules a bit, they just might. It all depends on how much Tenji can handle. Determined to avenge his father, Tenji promises not to give up. Yuichi, the last hope for Tenji, leaves without revealing his plan, leaving Tenji to wonder what he has in store. After spending 2 days in the cave without any contact from Yuichi, Tenji begins to wonder why his friend hasn't come back yet. Despite the enemy team not finding him yet, Tenji can't help but think that something is wrong. As his hunger grows, so do his doubts about Yuichi's loyalty. However, Tenji tries to remain optimistic and decides to wait it out. Suddenly, Tenji's mind starts racing with various possibilities. Maybe Yuichi is punishing him for his past mistakes. But why would he take so long? Tenji begins to fear the worst and starts to contemplate giving up. However, he eventually decides against it and tries to call Yuichi, but to his surprise, someone else answers the phone. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who is the most badass anime character? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now, back to the recap. It turns out that Yuichi plans to abandon Tenji and has been spending time with the enemy team's girl, eating and relaxing. According to the man on the other end of the line, Yuichi hasn't been searching for anyone, and he blames Tenji for their team's loss in the second game. The news hits Tenji hard, but he still decides to trust his friend and wait for him. As he hangs up the phone, Tenji can't help but feel like he's in a dire situation. Meanwhile, Hyakutaro and Kei feel sorry for him and can't see a way out. With the enemy team having a perfect strategy, it seems like all hope is lost. Right before the third game, Juzo interrupts the group's chatter and sparks their attention. He divulges that he's come up with a master plan to win the game. He emphasizes that this isn't a game of chance, but rather a test of their friendship. The others lean in to listen intently. Juzo questions the size of the vast forest they're playing in, something Manabu had mentioned earlier. It dawns on them that it's huge and will make it incredibly difficult to locate someone, even with a group of 4. The importance of bringing food to the hiders is emphasized by Juzo. This prompts the group to brainstorm ways to deliver the food. Kei wonders if someone should stay at the food station, and Juzo confirms that it's a viable strategy. However, Kei admits he's not exactly Usain Bolt. Without missing a beat, Juzo assigns Hyakutaro and Chisato to sprint to the food station, while Kei and Banri find a hiding spot for him. The group nods in agreement, except for Reiko, who can't help but express her admiration for Juzo's leadership and their group's seamless unity. Tsukino chimes in and confirms that they're a team, not just typical friends. Reiko adds that they're all members of a basketball team, which seems to only fuel their confidence. Reiko boldly states that her group, Group K, will emerge as the victors in just 3 short days. On day 3 of the game, Tsukino approaches Reiko with a question. She wants to know if there is any certainty that the game will end today, and Reiko confirms her suspicion. As Reiko gazes at Tenji's face, she confidently states that all they need to do is follow the searcher when they bring food to the hider. Reiko knows that finding someone in the vast forest is nearly impossible, but with Group K's 4 searches, they have the advantage. To make things even better, 2 of the searches can stay close to one of the enemy searchers, making it almost impossible for the hider to escape. The athleticism of Group K also works in their favor, making it difficult for anyone to outrun them. Nevertheless, there is always a chance that the searcher may decide not to move. In this case, the hider will eventually give up due to hunger and thirst. Even if 3 people from Group K decide to deliver the food, the 2 members from Group C won't be able to follow them all. Tenji, on the other hand, is at a massive disadvantage since he hasn't eaten anything for 3 days before the game. Despite this, Reiko firmly believes that it's just a matter of time for Group C to lose. At the end of the 3rd day, as the sun sets, Tenji sees a familiar figure approaching. It's Yuichi. He's bringing food. Reiko's eyes widen in surprise at the unexpected sight. While Tsukino just shakes her head in disbelief, perhaps it's just the stress and hunger playing tricks on Tenji's mind, Tsukino guesses. As Yuichi draws nearer, Reiko starts to question his motives. Why didn't he try to bring food or even call to cheer up Tenji earlier? What has he been doing all this time? Reiko's suspicious mind starts to race as she ponders the true intentions of Yuichi's sudden appearance. Tsukino shares her skepticism, wondering if Maria will continue to observe or take a more active role. It seems odd that she's just sitting back, watching everything unfold. Tsukino's suspicions only deepen when she reveals that Maria had sent her a report on Yuichi, describing him as even more of a crazy than she initially thought. Meanwhile, Yuichi makes a bold move, announcing that he wants to join Group K. The others are taken aback by his sudden declaration, wondering what his true motives are. What an unexpected twist. What are Yuichi's true intentions? Find out on our next recap of Tomodachi Game.